Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's been a hell of a day, huh?
For real.
Fuck this Thursday.
Oh, man.
Can we
Shit.
start over?
Man, I'll tell you what.
I don't want to do it over.
I didn't lose today, and I'm going to tell you just one simple reason why.
Disclaimer.
Yes. Let me start off with, hey, this is the opinion of Carlos. Not the opinion of the Rescue Company One or anybody that hires the Rescue Company One or the most amazing and wonderful, gorgeous, and happy Hanukkah to him, Dr. Benjamin Abel.
Is it still Hanukkah?
I don't know. Isn't it like 20 days of Hanukkah?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not, but hey, happy Kwanzaa.
There's lots of amazing nights.
Yeah, happy Kwanzaa to them. And that is Harley out here, like sharing her gases with everybody. And it's not her opinion either. Not the opinion of Patricio.
Not in mine at all.
And hello, baby.
Hi, baby.
You're beautiful.
I've missed you.
I missed you all day too. And then Jet Black, Amanda.
Are we going to start calling her Jet?
I love it.
Can we call you Joan Jet?
Rock and roll.
I
So,
don't know about all that.
I feel like I'm looking at Bizarro Amanda now. You know how?
yeah, but it's our world. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the bad
My alter
Superman.
ego.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too.
Like
I
this,
simply like I
I
said.
think like this Amanda will be a lot meaner
I thought
than
it
all
was,
the other Amanda.
I thought it was like
You might want to buckle up then.
I thought it was a badass biker chick in the office when I walked in this morning. I'm like, who the fuck's in here? Ma'am, get out of here. There's no meth in here. And yeah, so it's not the opinion, but man, it's been a fucking hell of a day. I did not lose today because I didn't have to suck one.
Amen.
Hey, 41 years, still winning.
Well, good for you.
I am 0 for 0. Oh man. But we do have to issue a little bit of an apology from some stuff that happened. Is there something funny for you?
Yeah, Rob says, "Hey, hello, Carlos, Hippo, Amanda, and Rocky.
Hello.
Oh, and Trish.
Oh,
And the hippo's not even here.
I know, right?
He is. Is that the cop?
Yeah.
That dude is a horrible cop. Like he can't even assess the scene. Like he missed one whole person. Horrible witness.
And forgot about me.
Yeah, I know. So listen, stuff went up on
I could have used you yesterday, Rob.
Boy, sure as heck.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll proceed then,
Proceed.
Barbara. So we had a podcast last week where we were talking about the situation with the toys and stuff like that. And I minced it. God, what are you saying? What are you laughing about? Okay, so like right off the bat, 2 minutes.
You said toys. I was thinking of different kinds of toys.
Oh, I'm sure. We'll
Oh,
put some of those in here later. So we last week had the Lake County toy drive and stuff like that. There's some complications with it. And not mention we only have one side of the story.
Yeah, we don't have everything.
Yeah, and then we put up a post today, and it is just basically, we put up things not to insult people and anything in any way. It's more than just we poke fun. Sometimes our mode of fun is found very funny.
No,
and when that happens, and if we hurt people's feelings or people take it the wrong way, we will take full responsibility for that, and we took it down, and we definitely apologize. We didn't mean it to be as a finger pointing or anything in any situation like that.
No, and the when I make the descriptions for the episodes, I tend to reflect a little bit in what was discussed the week before, and I chose the improper wordage on that one. So, on behalf of you, on behalf of everybody, my sincerest apologies as well for that.
I appreciate that, man. And we
Thank
had some
you.
good conversation with the other parties involved, and we're hoping that we can get them on next week. So
Yeah.
next week's show, we're hoping we get everybody on. Maybe we get this clarified. And like at the end of the day, we just want to fix the, how do we get these toys to the kids? How
Yeah.
do we get these families and stuff? At the end of the day, that's all we want.
Yeah.
Whether what politics, what things are happening behind, and big things are always just little tiny miscommunications.
Yeah.
True story.
Things that happen just sometimes just happen because hey, we built a wall, not a bridge, and
I
we're
like bridges.
we're into bridge building,
Yeah.
Mhm.
not building walls.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm
it
not a
this
fan
week.
of walls
So,
either.
yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan of a couple walls. Sometimes I like to hit the right wall a little bit more than I hit the left wall. It depends. I got a right lean. So, but that's listen, man. There's a lot of great people here, and a lot of people have good intentions, and then sometimes things just get messed up in the wash, and we just gotta just communicate better. If anything, I think that we can bring people together.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate end goal
Yeah.
of your podcast.
Yeah, we bring people together. We maybe get both parties, and just stop big things from becoming big. Make them small, man, and that's it. We have good intentions in everything we do, man, and so does I'm sure there is reasons for everything. So that's the apology for that. You know what I'm saying? Anything else that I've said that may offend somebody, I'm gonna say sorry. I may offend people today.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I am doing that. And
Me
you-
too.
we're kind of in a strange place as a company, and Amanda today is like we have grown so fast. Even the podcast, man, she is just a noise making machine right now.
I can't even hear.
Oh, I hear everything she's doing right there. What does she have?
Ice, water.
Oh, that's a good thing. So, noise making machine that we brought in.
I love how the dog bothers you more than everything that would happen at Johnny's.
Yeah, it's little noises. Little noises mess me up.
It's like the clicking of a pen right
Yeah.
now would just like throw you into the
Oh,
wall.
listen.
So I would stab you in the eye with it.
Oh, like,
That's the dark hair.
next week we'll be back at our regular location, Johnny's.
Hopefully.
Filling station, other sides. Hopefully we will.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
We
So,
haven't heard. We haven't got confirmation.
well, we will. People love us over there.
Mhm.
So we'll go back. And but we got some pretty good topics today. We're gonna try to stay timely because we do go over a lot.
Mhm.
So kind of the good thing about probably not getting fucked up at Johnny's today is that we may be on time and leave this shit done. So about saying that though, here's a little
Oh,
shot of the sacrament right
Oy.
here. Ooh,
here's what we talk. Seriously.
delicious.
Father and the Son and the Holy shit.
Yeah.
This one I'm not drinking for you.
Mm.
I'm not drinking it for me either.
Oh,
I'm gonna pretend.
I spilled some on my chin. Ah. Follow that up with an official sponsor of the Resin Company.
Oh, that just tastes like a bad car ride.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that was come from a burn barrel. That's America right there.
I know.
Yeah. And as I going around the room and trying to stay with things, baby, you got anything for the peoples?
No, that was horrible.
Oh yeah. I don't even know why you brought that, but it's delicious to me.
Because I thought you liked it. I
I
didn't know
do.
you were going to make me drink it.
Anyways, no word for people. Any announcements? Anything we need to know?
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, listen, you made me take a horrible shot.
I got so much I can say with that.
That one I did not like.
Okay. Proceed.
So, adultification.
Ooh,
Whoa.
go on.
Anybody want to guess?
Is when you take a childlike thing and you make it into an adult thing.
Like Lunchable to charcuterie.
Oh.
Oh, that's a fucking fancy ass word. I have seen Patricia at a charcuterie place before, though. Like, remember when you had that little charcuterie thing and he ate his body weight in charcuterie at the Italian place?
Oh, that
Yeah,
place is amazing.
that place is delicious.
I
That was
really
very
want to
good.
do one of their charcuterie classes.
Yeah,
I don't know why you made
It's
one and
torna-
it was amazing.
Yeah.
Tornatori.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Your
Yeah.
charcuterie was way better.
I've had her charcuterie, and it's different every time.
It's different every
You
time.
never know what you're
Sometimes-
gonna get.
Sometimes, there's a stripe in it. Sometimes there's not. I don't know. I have no clue. What is it?
So, adultification is when a group of minority children are treated as more mature than lighter skinned children. It stems from racial bias and negative stereotype of minority groups. This view is usually projected onto young African American girls, people thinking they don't need as much comfort, security, and love as white or lighter skinned children, and that African American girls know more about adult topics, are more mature, and know more about sex.
I wonder how true that is.
I don't know. Ask
Well,
Urban Dictionary.
Kids nowadays
this
know
is-
a lot more shit than we used to.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I mean, maybe my kids are kind of sheltered because they were in private school for a long time.
Yeah, but I went to private school. Let me tell you something.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
same.
So did I, but I was like,
I learned some shit in private school.
I didn't.
Let's
Mhm.
just say that allegedly. Well, am I there? Check. You got me?
Yeah.
So let's say that allegedly, when I got to private school, mind you, I was homeschooled till I got to school. And I had sex.
But you had
before.
brothers.
Yeah. I had sex before I went there.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened in homeschool?
You still get to go to parties and shit.
Group
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah.
It doesn't count
Yeah.
if you bang the teacher, but you're being homeschooled.
Ew.
That's pretty gross. Yeah.
That is
Oh.
gross.
Yeah, way to fucking make it weird. Thank you. That was super weird. I don't even know where I'm gonna go now with this thing.
I feel like we should just be moving on.
Yeah.
Patricio.
So,
I'm giving myself 2 minutes.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
But I get there, and I go out the first time with this one girl, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time figuring myself. There he goes. So I go out, and we're gonna do it, and I know we're gonna do it because I've done it before. Now this is probably my second time, So
You a pro.
yeah. And she goes, she's religious, and she goes, I gotta stay a virgin, so he's gonna have to do me in the ass.
Oh.
True story.
I believe it.
True story.
I've heard it
True
before.
true Irish Catholic right there.
And no Mormon.
Oh my.
Really?
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. The first girl I did, she was trying to stay a virgin, but she's Catholic, like myself. Go Fighting Irish, and yeah, that happened. That's a true story, and that's when anal started for me. So
It's like where on the doll, like turn it around.
yeah, where did the man touch you? Yeah, that's what happened. True story. Let me tell you something.
You do like making things weird, huh?
Yeah,
This is when you put 4
He's
roses
been
in
a
me.
professional of that today.
let's say this. How if you had to rate your salad tossing ability
Caesar.
from zero
Caesar.
to 10, what would you be? What would you like? 0, you're bad, obviously.
So-
10 is the best.
I have to be careful on this one because fiance watches it once in a while, and
Yes. You haven't
So
tossed
I
your
could-
salad?
I
What
could-
would she say about your salad tossing ability?
Mm.
not disclosing that one, but I could count on my hand how many times I've tossed a salad because it's a case by case basis. You
So-
can't just go in there and just go Italian on it. You gotta make sure there's no blue cheese. You gotta have the right dressing and everything.
I mean, I haven't said that I haven't gone down there and like a tunnel rat and just encountered bad shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's happened.
It's happened.
Yeah, it's happened to me. Yeah,
and nothing against them.
there's no way that I could count on my hands and toes how many times I've tossed a salad because I'm a salad tosser.
Muzzles off.
Yeah. Right, baby?
Oh, and I make it awkward.
Yeah. So I don't even know how we got on salad tossing. This is why we go over on 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay, I don't want to get off topic.
the quality assurance people. We need those.
We need a buzzer.
So adultification.
I'm gonna
Yes.
get you one.
Hey, so if you have a text for us, their birthday, buddy.
Oh, I do. He said he didn't have a condom.
I've heard that
And you
before.
said,
I got
that's
one.
fine, because I was ready to be a mom. Yeah, then he magically had one.
He found one. Oh man!
Oh, that's
How many times have you heard that line?
Multiple.
a lot.
Yeah. And what do you do in that situation? What have you done in that situation, babe? Allegedly.
Oh, well, sorry about your luck.
That's a no, huh? It's a hard stop for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was not ready to be a mom.
Wow. It's awesome. There's some good Trish
And
pre-mom stories that we had some discussions that she does not want to bring up on the podcast, but I'm like, at some point they're gonna have to come up. Well, I'm gonna have to bring them up. So there's some fucking awesome Trish stories. Any other man would be fucking like, we feel weird about. I think they're fucking hilarious.
Does it involve Key West or Daytona?
It involves like
No.
awesomeness Orlando.
Oh, man, I love Key
Kay
West.
Kay jumping in the chat saying, "Hey y'all,"
Hello.
Hey.
and Jay Marquez saying, "I got on at the wrong time."
Oh yes, sorry, brother. Jay's thing went awesome last weekend.
It
It did.
Like the amount of people that were there, the support that was there for the charity. What was the charity again, baby? You remember? We should probably look that up. So we have
The
that
one
somewhere.
with the shop with the firefighter?
Yes.
Orange
Is that-
County
what-
Fire
Right,
Charities.
shop-
Oh, I
yeah.
got one right here. It's a freshie.
Oh.
Yeah, shop with Orange County.
County Fire Charities.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
through the union. It's through their
Yes.
union, which is local. We
Oh,
need to
I
look-
don't know
We
their
need to look
local.
that up. Let's pull the flyer. And
Let's.
but they raised a lot of money. They got to dump me and Jay into the cold ass water at Jason's.
Yeah,
No, nice.
Yeah, and that was
you're welcome.
yes, and that was just
Thank
deep
you,
enough.
Jay.
Deep enough for Jason didn't need any water wings. Like, 'cause, my man ain't
He
a
can't
swimmer.
swim?
He's not. He's from the Bronx. There's not a lot of swimming opportunities there. I think
Okay.
he doesn't. have a
2057.
local 2057,
Mhm.
and this is for foster kids,
Mhm.
Boys and Girls Club. So they're gonna do shopping with the firefighters. A little
Nice.
different this
SK
year.
Your Diet does
Yeah.
foster kid stuff.
Yep, and
We love them.
yes, they are awesome, and it stands for Foster Kid Diet,
Yes.
which for another episode. And but the cool thing is like the amount of different EMS agencies, hospitals, fire departments that were there. It's
It
amazing.
was a lot.
It is a good showing. It was a good, and it just
It was a great, if you want a job with EMS, it was phenomenal. Go
Yeah.
to.
Mhm.
it's funny. You see mom there, Jason's mom works at the school. She's one of the heart and souls of the school. And she was, she was cracking me up because Jason didn't give anybody the day after Thanksgiving off. There's nothing but work there, you know what I mean? The whole world is shopping. Everybody else is at first response training group.
I'm pretty
at the
sure I
school.
was working.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of places were didn't do Black Friday this year.
Really?
Yeah, they cut back because they've shown statistically that it's gone down because everyone is converting over to online shopping. It's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
gone down.
I didn't
Uh,
go to a store
I think
at
it was
all.
either 41 or 43%.
Really?
I did all my shopping online on Cyber Monday.
Well, I think.
love Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I do
it's so
too.
much fun. And
Are
I
you-
hate people and I hate crowds, but man, I love Black Friday shopping.
I hate it.
I've
I
never
love it.
I've never had a Black Friday day that I've not gotten everything on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nope,
I am a champion of
I've
Black
never
Friday.
been out shopping
I'm
on
not
Black
going.
Friday.
I did.
And I love
it was not fun.
I even loved when people started doing it on Thanksgiving. So
Oh.
we'd eat all
Oh,
day
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
eat dessert
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'd go shopping.
No.
Yeah.
I would be at the Walmart and my family would bring me the Tupperware of the food and I'd be eating while I was waiting in line.
Oh, see, I never did that. I never did the standing in line for hours, but I did love being part of the crowd.
Well, I wanted that 32-inch TV for $99.
32
Eh,
inches.
I
That's
feel
not
like you
bad.
can
It's
get
like-
that every day at Walmart.
Yeah, I know. That was, I'm
That's not
telling you.
back then. What
Yeah.
1990 year was that?
It was the late 1900s.
Millennial, 32 inches. There was actually a TV that's like
He
smaller
said
than
on
50.
Monday he cut the internet so the staff would stay focused.
I love that dude. He's full on EMS. Like, hey, fucking fire trucks are running today. You coming to work? Hey, I'm telling you, it's the closest thing to a modern day concentration camp. You go work there.
Oy, oy vey.
Oh, is that too much? See, again, we don't have no quality control.
See?
Yeah. No, but that was awesome. And the amount of support that the school continues to get. And I'm going to tell you this. I had this conversation with allegedly with another school that we were helping out with some stuff.
Mhm.
And they were, wondering like, what is the thing that Jason does to continue? And people look this up. If you think I'm full of shit, look it up. His pass rate is top right now. People that go to paramedic school there pass their national registry exam.
That's awesome.
Like, I mean, they pass. And like, what is it the thing that he's doing there that's different? Well, he's teaching paramedicine. That's
So
it.
nobody else does it?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I don't know what other places do. I don't know why is that different, but he has got just a straightforward, no frills paramedic school. Like, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And
Good.
yeah, that's awesome. And that's why people are passing.
Yeah.
Like, don't teach fluff. Don't fucking teach your local protocols. Don't teach whatever. Teach fucking paramedicine. And you know what? People pass the test.
I mean, as long as you have a good teacher.
Yeah. Well, you have the teacher that's telling you exactly what he's supposed to tell you.
Yeah.
Not what he did on the truck earlier today or what he did. If you did, you know what I mean? Is just like
Well,
allegedly. So that's the difference there. And I think that's what people do. That it's different. They go there like, this guy only knows to do what he's supposed to do. And that's what the students are taught.
Oh, he said, I'm teaching that way you taught me, bro.
Exactly. Because I was not allowed to teach anything else other than what I was supposed to teach him.
Oh yeah, Trish, if you want to click on the comments or they go up on the screen, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
I have them.
Hey, I will tell you this shit. Like I told a student that was throwing a ball to hit Jason, and like they were aiming at Jason's head, and like, and I was like, like he's hard on you, like he was asking for the dosage of a medication.
I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, I go shit. It took me months to get him to remember that.
What was it?
I don't even remember, but it was one of those. I'm gonna tell you, like Jason was one. There were 4 people graduated that class. That was like a class of like 20 people. 4 people graduated that class, and Jason was not valedictorian. You know who it was? It was a girl named Liz who did not speak English when we started paramedic school. She spoke enough English to like get to the school. And then every day at lunch, everything I would say in the morning time, I would, I'm gone.
Something happened.
Oh, there it goes.
There it
There it
went.
is. So I would, in the morning time, everything I would say,
Hashtag facts.
yeah, I would have to translate to Liz. Liz would go, sir, you got a minute? I didn't eat lunch for a year. Like I would have to translate everything in the morning, and then when I was leaving,
What language was it? Spanish?
Spanish, yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
and then in the afternoon, like after we finished, like I would have to translate everything we just talked about. Like it was me and Liz spent a lot of times together. And Liz is like, I think she's like a nurse anesthetist now. It's like, it's amazing. She spoke English right after that. No, I still got a little bit. We got a while, drink it. So yeah. Anyways, some other stuff. Babe, dates that are important for people to remember.
The 24th through the 29th is the next aeromedical class.
Yes.
January, I think it's 10th through the 14th is the community paramedicine class.
Mhm.
And then we also have AMLS, TNCC, PHTLS, difficult airway, the end of January.
Yep. And you
can see all of that on our website, therescuecompany1.com.
yeah, Amanda's put a lot of work into her calendar.
Such a slacker.
Yeah, Amanda, welcome.
Welcome, Amanda.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
You're fixing a lot of issues. A lot of problems are being fixed,
Good.
And then the other thing that we do have to make sure that we mention is this: we are trying to be better on our pre-class work.
Yes.
For the people that are enrolled in the stuff, they know right now that they have these virtual days that they have to log into. Anything you have to say about that, birthday buddy?
No.
Amanda is going to take your spleen if you do not turn in your work on time.
Oh yeah, that part.
Yes.
Pen to the eyeball.
Yeah. And this is simply the
I
thing.
believe it'll
And
happen.
this is simply the thing that we have grown. And I don't want to grow past where we're not passing the exams at the same rate that we were passing them.
Yes.
With the thing that's gotten us here is doing a good job.
Mhm.
And I don't want to get into that as we get a bigger group, bigger people, more people coming, not bigger people's in size, but just more people coming through.
I mean, all
I
sizes
feel
matter.
that, yeah, I feel that, I feel that I have gotten
That's true.
busier.
Mhm.
So I can't like take the phone calls like I used to be able to from the students, and like go and spend an hour with them. But I am going to give everybody that hour at least virtually. And so we're going to post those things. I will be online those days to answer questions.
Yep.
You'll
And-
have a go-to-meeting link.
Yeah, yep. And like, listen,
Pre-planned, pre-scheduled.
yeah, have a question. I'm going to have a pre-planned lesson if you don't have a question. So we're going to talk for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So log in. Instructors are going to be logging in anyways too, to get their continuing education hours. But the reality is, man, I don't want to lose that. I don't want us to get lazier and forget the things that have gotten us to where we're at today. Does that make sense?
Right.
Mhm.
So all questions are important. Some, like people say, there's no stupid questions. There's questions that just sound stupid, but just ask them. Ask them anyways, because there's somebody else
If you
thinking of
don't-
that stupid
If you
question.
don't know the answer, then
Yeah.
you should ask the question.
Yeah, there's somebody else thinking of those things. Again,
Probably.
I would like to say that on exam A and B, I am not giving you the fucking answers. The answers are in the book. You find them, and that's how you grade that. Everybody always goes, "Hey, can we get the key so we can grade it?" No, fireman. I know what you're gonna do. No, you're gonna look the fucking answers up.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say about that. Like Forrest Gump.
I was just about to say, you're going very gumpish right now.
Yeah. So we have a pretty cool topic today that I think that it needs to be talked about.
What is it?
Oh, the topic is ketamine.
Oh, what?
The topic is ketamine. So there's a video, like, I don't know how do I share my screen, Patricia?
I will be right there.
Oh, can I send you like?
Yeah, if you want to send me the, you know how to use private chat, right?
He sent it to you in the text. Do you have
Oh
it
yeah,
in
I
there
sent you the
still?
video. Yeah, in the text there. If you want to look at it, I got a 1 minute 45-second version of the video. So obviously, I want to talk about the Elijah McClain.
I don't have it.
Well, so Elijah McClain, right?
Mhm.
Does anybody know where that name comes from?
Who is it?
So he's a gentleman that lost his life in a struggle with the police.
Got it.
2019. He was at 2019. This
Before
actually happened
COVID.
before COVID.
Wow.
This actually happened, and it's a tragic story. And like, full disclosure, we don't, we're not. We say a lot of things to try to be funny. We say a lot of things to try, that are inappropriate at times. But the reality is, a gentleman lost his life here. Right,
Kid.
kid.
He's a kid.
A kid lost his life here, and
It is shitty.
And it's a talented kid, a
Yeah.
good kid, and
He was a musician.
he's a musician. He's play violin for kittens. Like, he would go to the shelter where the kittens were in all isolated in different cages
Yeah.
and stuff, and he would go play music for them.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
I almost want to learn how to play violin to do that.
and he was a different kid.
Yep.
He was a different kid. He beat to his own drum.
Yep. Lots of kids. are.
He had some medical conditions that made him, dress different and stuff like that. So those are the things that I want to throw up front, that I feel that this kid was wrong place at the wrong time.
Of course.
I think so too.
I think people reacted different than I would normally do. And this is the thing. Like, things happen today.
Yeah.
With the company, mistakes happen. Things happen. I could have reacted pissed off towards everybody. I could have came in here and been just ripping some asses, putting some fucking shoes and things. But listen, I have to react, and I can't change the mistake.
Correct.
Right. I cannot change the mistake. I cannot change the reaction. People people are just reacting nowadays.
Yeah.
They react and they just don't.
Hopefully, we can educate people so other people don't react the same way.
Yeah. So they react and they don't think about things.
Right.
They don't think about their reactions. And listen, I cannot Monday morning quarterback what the police officer was thinking.
Right.
I cannot Monday morning quarterback what the paramedic guys were thinking.
Right.
Okay. I am going to speak to the research. I'm going to speak to the things that have come out since then.
Yep.
And then I want to speak about the charges that were just placed specifically on the paramedics.
What about stuff that came out right before? Because the stuff that came out after isn't really relevant.
As far as what, baby? What are you referring to?
So, like, as far as how the paramedics reacted and what the paramedics did, the stuff that has come out since that happened isn't really relevant because it's
a reaction to what happened.
Yeah.
But is there studies or anything that have come out before then or anything like
Oh.
that? Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah. So you're just throwing just random stuff out there. Chicago, just saying random things.
There's a fabulous doctor in the comments.
Oh,
there is.
Is there a handsome guy?
Ben.
He's a very handsome man.
And let me tell you, this is a man that has based his life on research. And like a lot of stuff that we do here, the Rescue Company One, we try to research before it comes out of our mouth.
Of course.
And before we say it. And but anyways, let's talk about the case here. You got a little short clip of the video there?
So I clicked on the link that you sent me, but I don't see a video in there.
So I have a video here if you want to get me to share my screen, and I can share.
I'll be right there. And
Yep.
chicken wing.
And look at that handsome guy right there.
Just so you know, Harley is very tired.
Yes.
She walked around
this one
for a
right
bit, and now she
Yeah.
is snoring.
We
Hmm
try to
I wish
back
I
it
could
up a
sleep
little
that
bit.
good.
Right. Well, I can't.
I can't.
Yep, back it up there. There we
Ask
go.
Carlos.
I heard you had a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, woke up screaming and went back to snoring 5 seconds later.
I mean, it was a couple nights. It was a couple minutes. But yes, I did. That happened.
He's like, she went right back to snoring. And I was awake till 5 a.m.
Yeah. And then, like,
So do I
did a
mute it?
cranial
Do I mute
treatment
it?
for him.
Oh,
do
no.
you want the audio to play?
Yeah, we can play it.
slightly
We'll down here.
scary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Hit play.
yeah, go ahead and hit play.
Start with breaking news tonight at 10. Newly released body camera video from Aurora Police is giving us new insight into the moments before Elijah McClain's August death.
Now, someone called police to report McClain as a suspicious man wearing a ski mask and waving his hands. The 23-year-old was walking home from a convenience store. His family said he wore the ski mask because he was anemic and was often cold.
Police stopped him while he was walking. They say he was resisting arrest, so they put him in a carotid control hold and he passed out. And then when paramedics arrived on scene, they chose to administer the sedative ketamine, something Aurora Fire says is standard protocol around our region.
Stop. Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious. You don't need to be sensitive. The drugs are gone, dude. Stop, dude. All right. Just rub it right behind his ear if he fights, all right?
Now, Aurora Police insist they are not the ones who requested the use of ketamine. It was Aurora paramedics. McClain went into cardiac arrest on his way to the hospital. He died 6 days later.
And according to an autopsy, the coroner could not determine how McClain died and wouldn't rule out homicide at the hands of Aurora PD, but added it may have been physical exertion. The attorney representing the McClain family says they were not aware of tonight's press conference and calls this surprise Friday night press conference another example of Aurora doing its best to keep Elijah's.
All right. So how do I unshare this now?
Stop sharing.
Stop sharing. Cool. So now I should be able to come on. All right, cool. So we all saw that video, right? So basically, the go back to the 911 call for people that are not aware of the story. So Elijah McClain is a kid. He would every time he would go out at nighttime, I guess he was a runner, so he would go out running, or if you go into the store, he would get cold. Some type of anemic type history that he had. I couldn't find the exact history that they were speaking about, but it was not uncommon for him to wear a full ski mask. And
Abo said he's not working or filming, and he can pop in.
Yes, he said, yeah.
Oh my goodness! I will check your
send him a link.
Facebook in just a few moments.
So anyways, it was not uncommon for him to go running with or go outside. So he went to go do a store run for a brother of his in the house, and he was wearing a ski mask. Somebody at the store actually saw it,
right?
well, let me get to that here in a second.
Sorry.
Somebody at the store saw him walk in with the ski mask and felt that they needed to call 911.
Oh.
That most people at the store knew the kid. And I can't say a kid, he's a man. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
So most people at the store knew him. And he did this, like when you watch the video, he would do this bow of respect to people as he would, when he doing it. He was the girl that was the cashier. I saw an interview with her. She knew him. So she wasn't afraid of him or anything like that. He paid for his items and he left the store.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The 911 call, even at some point there, you can hear that they asked the person, "Do you feel threatened?" And they said, "No, they don't feel threatened." And they
Then
felt
why they
danger.
call 911?
No clue. But now they've called 911. Now the cops arrive.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops tried to talk to him. I don't want to get into the semantics of the interaction because that's not what we're talking about today. What happened.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
They're wrestling with at some point the police officer felt that he reached for his gun. So they got rough, more intense of a rolling around on the ground. So now we're dealing with a person that's laying prone. So he is laying on his stomach, okay,
Mm-hmm.
with probably weight on top of him to begin with.
Yep.
They're fighting him. And you see that it's dark out there. And I want to point this out. Okay, the patient is dark out there. Okay. And if you are a paramedic right now that works for a system that has a scale and they stop the patient from fighting so they can weigh them and determine the actual weight of them, please call, put a comment on there.
Have you heard about that?
No. And I'm being sarcastic in the sense that there is no scale out there. So
some stretchers have scales, but I don't know if that's just hospital.
That's
stretchers.
just for the hospital, baby. Yeah. There's no EMS stretcher. Now, when you're fighting the person. So I want to point out that it's a nighttime.
Yep.
Okay. You're having to make your best judgment decision. And in class, we say funny things like, "Hey, I'm going to engage my inner carny." Right. And for millennials, there's these things called carnivals out there that there's people that guess your weight, on that. Right. So, and if they're close, you win a toy.
Yeah.
If they're not, then you don't win anything.
Correct.
So I don't know if meth makes you, and I see that's me being judgmental, say those people that work at cardi are on meth, but allegedly. So here we go. When we're in class, I always tell people that we're going to basically take humans and put them into 3 and 4 categories. There's the pediatric.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the small frame adult.
Yep.
Medium frame adult.
Yep.
And large frame adult.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the adults, yes.
I got them ready.
Oh, put the doc in. Bring them in.
Hey.
Hello there.
He is so
We
handsome.
miss you.
He is
Your
so
aim will
handsome.
get better.
So doctors is kind of getting into this whole medicating people pre-hospitally and stuff like that. So I'm glad you're here. So basically we look at a 60-kilogram patient for the small body frame. And again, we're basing this on just eyesight here. Like, hey, this is a small person.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob, he'd be 60 kilos. He's a tiny fella.
Yeah.
He's like what we would call Garanimals size here. And then we have I'm gonna have the medium frame person. I'm gonna hit him at 80 kilos.
Yeah. And
then I'm gonna take that larger frame, Patricio or Andre the Giant, and call him 100 kilos.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Wow. Last time you saw me, I was 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Trisha. Now I'm 95 kilos.
There you go.
Nice.
Good
The
job.
hair is
And
5 kilos.
This guy
alone.
went to Taco Bell then.
And handsome. So the paramedics on the scene. Now, I think now we know that Elijah was 175 pounds.
Yep.
So somewhere around how many kilograms? 80 kilograms, right? 79.5, I think.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But the medics were basing him at 100 kilos, so a 200-pound person.
Yep.
Right. So they dosed him at 5 milligrams per kilogram.
Yep.
An intramuscular, which is a standard intramuscular shot for ketamine. Okay, which is a sedative, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's good we have the doc on board so you can speak smartly about it. And that was a dose. It was a 500 milligram intramuscular dose. Okay. Doc, are you familiar on the case?
But I'm just putting in my ears.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you
Yeah,
better.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the app it's weird. It's like really quiet, so I can hear
Yeah.
you better now. Anyway, so you were just saying.
So on the Elijah McClain, the Aurora, Colorado case,
Yeah.
are you pretty aware of the details and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I actually this is a monumental case,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Um, and it shouldn't have happened. It's a sad thing that happened. There's a lot of learning from it. Um, I first was made aware when it kind of hit the news, and one of the groundbreaking things out of this is a great article from Doug Wolfberg, a buddy of mine who's famous from Page Wolfberg and Worth, wrote a great review article immediately about this because he was doing interviews and stuff because of where the paramedics position that we're in, and all. And and at the same time, I'm also a huge fan of ketamine. I love it.
Good job.
It's very very useful, and and when I was recently lecturing out in Kansas at the Olathe regional conference for the Olathe Fire Department and others around there, we actually did a panel. A paramedic and lawyer, Matt Strieger, myself, and the medical director out there, and then another new EMS physician. And we looked at the video, we talked about it a lot, and got pretty into it. So sorry, that was a pretty winded version of I know the details.
So
Um,
this is my
yeah.
thing with ketamine. So ketamine disassociates your brain from feeling things. And basically that's because we do have people that are non-medical people that listen to the podcast. So right, so use a medication that's going to tell your brain, don't worry about anything else that's going on out here when you give a sedative dose, right?
True. Yeah, it's very dose dependent. It's weight
Yes.
dose dependent. So a little thing, and I actually used it on my ER shift yesterday. I used it for 3 different patients.
Allegedly, sir. You gotta say allegedly.
Allegedly.
I hypothetically used it. How's that? I like my term hypothetically. So allegedly, I had 3 patients. One dose was because someone was very anxious. They were short of breath. They were having respiratory issues. They couldn't handle the claustrophobia of the actually 4 patients allegedly. They couldn't handle the claustrophobia of the CPAP.
Yes, sir.
So I gave them I call it the little whiff dose. It was a little bit of an anxiolytic. It also helps because what does it do to those bronchi? Bronchodilates. Oh,
Yes,
there's
sir.
a winner
Make it
for
bigger.
respiratory.
Yes,
No
sir.
respiratory depression, and it just made them a little bit less anxious. So slightly sedating those benefits. I had another patient allegedly who was actually in recovery. He had an almost acute abdomen. He's been on Suboxone for opiate dependency for 7 years, or 4 years, sorry, and in horrible pain, but I needed to give him pain medicine. So I gave him a pain dose subdissociative. Do that a lot because he didn't want opiates or opioids, rightfully so, but he still deserves to get pain control. Then I had another guy, allegedly, who was a total douche, psych issues, a lot of things, and he needed to be placed in the. Let's put it this way. There's some holiday decorations, and it says "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow" near the nurse's
have one of those.
station,
Yeah.
and
I thought
instead
that
I'm
said "Let it
changing
snow."
it to "Get them snowed, get them snowed, get them snowed."
Yes, it's the
Um,
same thing.
I put into full dissociation to calm him down, keep everybody safe,
Yep.
and I am dose, to that full thing. And then somebody else, I did a little subdissociative dose for pain management also for procedure. So everything
I
is
think
very dose dependent, and it's safe for kids. Very, very useful. But everything's, as you were saying, is very dose dependent, and route is very important also.
yes, sir. And the other thing that I think you got to understand but prior to Elijah McClain, prior to another case that we're going to just kind of briefly talk about, years ago, the position that we restrain people in, we have to be extremely cautious.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you're putting somebody in a prone position and then you're adding them into a position where their face really isn't moving from the position that they're in,
Yeah, you can't
you're
do that.
you're causing rebreathing hypoxia.
Are you telling me that they've been working on this procedure for years?
Well, yeah, we have seen that if we put somebody on prone, they're going to have a hard time exchanging. They're breathing bad air.
Well, this is separate from even ketamine. So
yeah, that's absolutely.
This is Patricia. This is what we call. Oh my God! Did you hear that Spanish roll of my R, Patricio? This is called positional asphyxiation.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
If you hog tie someone, especially if someone's bigger, they're sized more like the harder to kidnap, like Carlos and I.
Yeah.
And you hog tie us, even without exertion, there's this phenomenon where they're likely to stop breathing.
And it's the same.
I haven't seen that happen since probably 2004.
We don't see it happen in the medical environment, but we see this happen in restraint cases, and this is what we're getting at here. So I'm trying to get is ketamine the bad person here. And if you hire me or Dr. Abel as the expert on this case, we're going to get rid of your murder weapon. The murder weapon, right? It's, by the way, the 2 paramedics in Colorado were charged with murder. They are charged with aggravated murder right now, and the weapon being ketamine. And now
I disagree.
I disagree as well, sir. That I don't think the ketamine had anything to do with.
I thought you were saying that ketamine was the.
That's what they're using as the weapon that killed the Elijah McClain.
Right.
Ketamine. I don't think that's a weapon.
Yeah. No, the ketamine is not the issue here. Ketamine is being used as the scapegoat. No. And there's a combination of things. It's very unfortunate. It's kind of weird. And more that it was lack of things that was more the problem here. And do I think that honestly should they have been charged criminally?
I don't think so.
No, absolutely not. Look at our failed airways, right? Yeah. We do what we can, but we don't have an airway. And yes, I get on people's cases when if they don't use Capno, but we're not coming after you criminally. Is it a crime, so to speak? Yeah, you didn't use Capno, you didn't maintain their airway, but there's a lot of other issues here, but not criminal. So that's a big thing. I just was at one of my fire departments today, and we actually, as a med review, we were watching the documentary and talking about the ketamine use for the Thai cave rescue.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely.
Oh, we were watching that the other day.
We watched that the other night.
That was with all the different stuff.
Amazing. Amazing. And that's another use of a great example. And it was the kids were completely out and this and that, but the ketamine isn't what killed. That's a very important thing.
And I want to basically put that out there right now. I want people to understand that the weapon that these guys are being charged with using is the ketamine for killing this young man. If this case goes to trial, and you put this is why I brought up the young man's character up. I brought up the young man's character up before we started all this discussion because he's a good kid. He's caught up. There's a situation that happened that has been caught up, and now these guys who were not charged initially, but then after the public outcry, he was charged.
Because somebody has to pay for it.
Somebody has to pay for it. A mother's lost her child, and that is horrible.
It is.
Should these guys go to prison for doing what they did? And the question is, the answer, in my opinion, is no. And it's because the ketamine wasn't the culprit here. That they did sedate a apparent combative person. They were called by the police to do a job.
But in the video, it doesn't seem like when they administered it, he was still combative. So for me, not ever working in your position, why would you still use that?
Yeah, so we're only seeing little bits and pieces of the video. So we don't know the whole situation, and we don't know as me, if I get to a scene where there's 4 or 5 law enforcement people restraining somebody, then I'm going to choose to sedate. That's the safest thing to do. Now you got to understand where I'm coming from. Before anybody, let me explain my position. I am the brother of a paramedic who is in a wheelchair. Okay, so my oldest brother, okay, and got thrown out of the back of an ambulance by a psychiatric patient, and he is a paraplegic. In the 80s, way before I was, like I was a baby when this happened. And, this guy, he's, my brother Lewis, he's in a wheelchair. So that's where I'm coming from with this, right? Like, I know what a psychiatric patient can do to a paramedic in the back of an ambulance. Right. So as long as I use my medications appropriately and do the due regard, like the entitled CO2s, putting the person in a supine position and the best possible breathing capability that we can give them, provide an airway if need to, then we're doing the best thing possible for the patient in that situation.
But it wasn't the best thing for this specific one because they chose to do it while he was still face down on the ground.
He was still fighting
with somebody hitting him to the ground.
So the thing is that
there's bigger issues.
Yes, there's bigger issues at hand here.
The bigger issue is what was not done.
Which is
what was not done was assessments and reassessments, allegedly. What was not done was vital signs. What was not done was no monitoring. It wasn't the ketamine that stopped the breathing.
Yeah.
It wasn't fast push. It's if you overdose and you give too high of a dose, you're just in the K-hole longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's one of the beauties of it. In fact, there was a decent study and there's a number of places, Lee County, some others are going to just a standard dose for like large, adult 400 or 500 milligrams IM for the extreme agitation. If you look at different protocols around, just so it's easier to do because it's hard to figure out people's weights. And not only is it sometimes weight-based, but it's really ideal weight-based.
Oh man,
for medication, and there's a big difference. Yes, and you can guess totally. So my ideal weight would be, I'm a handsome devil allegedly. No, that's and ideally that for my height, ideally I would be about 75 kilos.
Yep.
75 kilos. And you guesstimate, and you can even look at a picture like, okay, what do you think my weight is with this angle and even versus this angle, right?
Yeah.
So, but my actual weight is 95 kilos right now. But I know that because I'm in training, I'm working hard at it, allegedly. But but the medicines, there's certain ones that are not based on that. Just like when no matter how fat you are, overweight, your lung size is the same. So our vent settings are based on ideal body weight. So what should someone of that height weigh?
Yeah. So basically, in Pine Hills language, Patricio, there's certain medicines that doesn't matter if you're 200 pounds or 90 pounds. The 90-pound dose works for the 200-pound man.
Now, when hearing the news report, I heard that in Aurora County or in the city of Aurora, that procedure is standard. Have you heard of that procedure being utilized?
Yeah, it's excited delirium. So that's like what they did wasn't out of protocol. It wasn't out of standard procedure, even down to what the police officers did. It wasn't out of standard procedure.
Yeah.
So this is why they were not charged initially. And this is the thing that I want to bring this up. This was a good kid that died in an unfortunate situation. But is it charge worthy? Is the outrage charge worthy? And I think that right now people get all caught up on perceptions. Hold on, Patricio, because I know where you're going with this. I can see your face. Patricio, who is Tony Timpa?
Tony Tempo?
Tony Timpa.
Timpa. I don't know.
So Tony Timpa, and I have the video. Tony Timpa is a gentleman out of Dallas. He's a white older male. He has a psychiatric history, and he died in the same exact situation as Elijah McClain.
Yep.
He died in 2016. He died in a supine position. He was given 500 milligrams of ketamine, and he died of positional asphyxia.
And he was a rich white guy.
He's a rich white man. Nobody marched for Tony. The people in that case did not get charged. There was no situation that's happened in that situation. You don't even know who Tony Timpa is.
Nope.
But we have football players in the NFL with Elijah McClain behind their helmets. Where's the football player with Tony's name? What I'm saying is that we choose and pick to who we outcry for and who we are outraged for. So it's either across the board fair or it's not fair.
Do you feel that it's, and this is just throwing it out there just to start the conversation, do you feel like it's the way the media is trying to level out all the injustices that have occurred?
I think so. I think that we feel bad for what we've done to people of minorities. And then all of a sudden, you know, now a white person can say how they feel about what my people have gone through.
Yeah.
Right. And then like they feel
we talked about this on previous shows.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I want to bring up. So why is it okay in certain situations and why now, if you see the video of Elijah McClain, okay, you see the video and it's a sad one because the kid is telling you, I can't breathe, he can't do this. So it's fucking heartbreaking. But if you watch Tony's video, the cops are making fun of him. The Tony is apneic for 11 fucking minutes in the video. 11 minutes he's apneic.
That means he's not breathing, Patricia.
He's not breathing, yeah. He's on his stomach and the guys are making fun of him. The video is outrageous. If I am going to march for something and I'm going to be outraged and I'm going to do outcry, I'm going to put this guy's helmet behind an NFL play, name behind an NFL player's helmet. This is the guy that I do it for because this was wrong. Now, Tony is completely apneic. He is 11 minutes in. 11 minutes in. And at 12 fucking minutes,
and they're laughing.
And at 12 minutes, when he's not moving and he's not saying anything, he gets a 500 milligram intramuscular shot of ketamine.
By a paramedic who just walked up and didn't even look at his face. Just walked up and stuck it in his arm.
It's
what?
It is outrageous. Me and Amanda watched this today. We watched all the stuff. What I'm saying is this. Why are we outraged about one case and not outraged about the other?
Great question.
I mean, I'm angry about both, but I'm more angry for the other one too because he was tortured longer.
I bring this up, Patricia. You're connected into the world of like what's happening out there.
Yeah,
you got the pulse of the world. You out there in like the social media world, and you've been to several protests. You've been out there. You've been doing this stuff.
Yeah,
you had no idea who Tony was just now.
I didn't.
You know who Elijah McClain was before we started the kick.
A little bit, yes. I had a little bit of the information right there.
Play a little bit of the Tony video.
And stand by, I'm pulling this up.
I'm not sure I want to watch this.
It's bad.
Body cams.
This body cam footage is brought to you by PBR. PBR, the unofficial sponsor of the Rescue Company One. I mean, as the rotor turns. Yes. Second fuck up of the day for me.
I'm sure there is more.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't tell you about the dog.
So, but if you go to like that's a good angle right there. When you look at that position right there, and you got the sound.
I seriously thought it was illegal to hog tie people anymore.
It is.
There's a shot. That's a shot of Kevin. By the way, we're a lot of minutes in here, and there's no. He's not making any words. He's incoherent. He's not even incoherent. He
hasn't been because at one point
he's not breathing.
Like several minutes before the paramedics showed up, they were talking to each other and saying, "Oh, he just went to sleep. He gave up and fell asleep."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to play.
He called 911 because he needed help.
A private security person had him handcuffed before they got there, and he's just on the call 911. There's a shot.
All of a sudden, just look.
There he comes.
The cops thought he was getting Narcan. He was getting ketamine.
Why did he give ketamine instead of Narcan?
I don't know the situation. He was a combative patient. They were giving ketamine. They talked about it.
So this is an important thing, right? So if I call for police backup, I'm basically asking for a consultation from police to decide with their training, their expertise, they think is needed. Do I need somebody to press charges? Do I need someone to be separated? Do I need less lethal force? Do I need lethal force for protection? When a paramedic is called, they need to do a medical assessment and decide, even if there's a request, right? I don't necessarily call somebody to fix I've got something wrong in my bathroom. Just because I call a plumber doesn't mean that he's automatically going to change out the fucking toilet. He's going to do an assessment and tell me what he thinks needs to happen and figure out what the problem is and then act on it. And then I'm going to test the fucking shitter to make sure it works afterwards. Right? So even if you're called for someone who's aggressive, combative, it doesn't mean that they are, number one. Number two, as a paramedic, I work under licensure of a physician. And you have protocols and things based on what goes on, right? So I don't work for the fucking police officer, and the police officer is not a paramedic. They can ask for, do you think that this is appropriate for this? And I believe that everyone needs to know the capabilities, but just because someone pulled the trigger, it's not all of a sudden, well, now I have to because I'm here on scene. So that decision needs to be made if it's really needed or not. And it was interesting seeing that video where the cops are thinking that it's Narcan, and quite frankly, that's another thing that I'm very big on. Checking doses and everything. But even if they're not paramedics, everybody should know what's going on. Hey, you're on him. At least turn him to his side. I'm pulling up ketamine because we're gonna do this. And they might say, actually, he's calming down a bit. Cool. All right, I'll just have it ready. Or, hey, he's not breathing, he might have taken something, hey, I'm going to pull up the Narcan, or let's put him on his side, check his sugar. You have to communicate with people that are going on, whether you're on camera or not. Always assume you're on fucking camera.
Yeah, it's nowadays.
The last 2 times I've asked for security at some alleged hospital, they've told me, yeah, we'll get there when we can.
And babe, that's a topic for another day because people do get hurt quite a bit, and your safety is not like primary nowadays. And
no,
but I want to talk about this because we promised Miss Jody we won't go too long because she says we go too long on these podcasts sometimes.
We still have half an hour because we started at 7.
So right there says an hour and 2 minutes.
I need to grab a drink. I'm finally off.
That's why I said we have half an hour.
So
we have 90
real
minutes.
quick though, this is where I really want to point this out. And the doctor brought up an excellent point.
Absolutely, assessment.
I think that a breach in professionalism is the complication here.
Yes.
On the police side and the paramedic side. On both cases, we have breached professionalism. We didn't act with due regard. Now, I've looked up the statutes for murder in Texas. Mm-hmm. I've looked up the statutes for murder in Colorado, and these guys basically you have to have the intent and the ill intent to cause harm.
Well, I don't think the medics intended to cause harm.
I don't think they showed up to work that day to cause harm to this gentleman.
I agree.
Either one.
Could I foresee the results of said legal process?
Yes.
I feel that you're hitting it right on the nail. This is what a lot of these cases in which these occurrences happen, in which the burden is put too high on the state attorney or the district attorney's office to be able to prosecute and charge said individuals. So I feel at that point right there, you're absolutely correct. There was no ill intent. There was no malice towards causing harm to the individual, and they're not going to meet the burden, and the charges will possibly they'll be found not guilty.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing: medical.
I don't know if they will, and that's what's concerning to me. Honestly,
a concerning thing.
I don't mean to cut you off because when this is in front of this is criminal. This is in front of a jury of your peers.
Yes, sir.
Which
Right?
is not necessarily.
These aren't medical people.
Yes,
this isn't paramedics and physicians and specialists saying, you know what? Did you fuck up? Did you not? What do we need to do to fix this? This is people without medical education chosen as a jury, the general public that don't understand, and they hear shit like what the media is fucking spewing out.
He's right.
Ketamine this, ketamine killed. You know what? Ketamine fucking saved those boys' lives in Thailand.
And I watched this
where?
in Thailand.
Yeah, I know.
And I watched this thing.
Yeah.
I watched this thing the other day and preparing for today. Okay, preparing for today. I watched this shit the other day. Amanda was there with me. She was watching it because she's there with me now all the time. And
Hello?
Yeah. Was that?
Your last shift on the helicopter, did you use milk of amnesia? Did you use propofol?
No, sir. I used ketamine twice.
You didn't use propofol for any transports or anything?
No, sir.
What's the difference?
Well, I use propofol all the time.
Yeah.
For transports or post intubation stuff. Propofol killed Michael Jackson.
Yes, sir. But
are we not using that anymore?
We still are.
No.
Real quick, I know
all
we
the time.
a little bit off topic, but
Sorry, I cut you off too.
I like giving updates of what goes on in the world right now. Justice Smollett found guilty of falsely reporting a hate crime.
What?
Oh, the gentleman from that show, the guy that said
from Empire.
They're from Empire.
Yeah.
They got beat
Oh yeah, that was
found guilty of 5 counts of disorderly conduct for making false reports to police.
You know, this happened in Patricio's hometown.
Oh, yes, it
Chicago.
did.
You know, like that's a whole show that I have planned.
Yeah.
Fucked up shit that happened in Chicago, and we're gonna tie it back
I
into.
love Chicago, though.
And we're gonna
It's
tie
so
it back
much
to
fun.
medicine.
Can we do the show in Chicago?
Let's do it.
Negative. So
Oh.
we're playing in Chicago this year, by the way.
Oh.
Guardians are.
Hey, Dana.
Yes,
Black Welder, I agree. Propofol's
you.
great.
yes. No.
Propofol is
great.
amazing.
Anyway, Carlos,
One of my favorites.
I cut you off. But while you're about to say what you're saying, I do want you all to see my holiday shirt because I have to work on Christmas because I'm a good Jew. Silent Night, the Dream Team.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that is fucking great, Propofol. He's the greatest.
Anyway, so you were saying.
you know, like the reality is these guys are going to get. No, I was agreeing with you, Doc. I really think that the court of public opinion is going to convict these guys. They're going to convict these guys. These guys are going to get convicted. It is fucking nuts. It is the craziest thing in the whole entire world, but they will get convicted. Like if this goes before a court, they killed a fucking kid that plays violin
To kittens.
kittens. Like fucking crazy, bro. Like it should have never been charged. It should have never been charged. It's just again my opinion.
There's a baby in the room.
My opinion. And that's the where I've got to like bring this up, guys, right? I got to bring this up. Like we've gone the extreme to the other end. I am a man of color.
No.
And I'm telling you, we have gone to the extreme of the other end here, man. Like we are not looking at everything. We're not looking at facts anymore. We are going with what we think is the right thing to do.
Oh.
I mean, brother, you studied law.
I know.
You're a guy that studied law.
And that's what I'm saying right now with said statement. I feel that a lot of the cases that have been in front of the media these past few weeks, you got the sentencing for Markeith Lloyd. You had this instance right here with Jesse Smollett, Rittenhouse just a few weeks ago. The guys who took down the one guy with their truck and everything. I can't remember. Aubrey. There have been, I feel, in the past few months and trials that have been in the public eye, I feel justice has actually been accurate. And with the burden that the state is going to push with this case, I don't feel that these individuals will be convicted. From what you're showing me, and from what you stated right there in regards with
those are the facts.
Those are the facts.
And the facts of the case is that the client does not have a case. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV yet. But
Yes.
but like I said, I mentioned it's a great article, I think, by Paige Wolf-Bergenworth. And I've heard it now a couple times. Matt Strieger, who, like I said, in New Jersey, is an attorney, and he's also a paramedic. Some of the interpretations, and we broke down. Well, he broke down. I just happened to be on the panel, sitting next to him, so I learned from osmosis. But kind of breaks down what it takes for criminal charges for murder, and then kind of lines things up, which is interesting for those of us that don't know law like Patricio. For those of you out there, it's easy to find.
I mean, Doc, you know, and I know that I want to say this from the law standpoint. There is a great podcast on Flight Bridge, the last Flight Bridge podcast by Mr. Eric
Yes.
Bowers. He has like legal professionals, criminal attorneys on there dissecting the case,
Hmm.
and it's extremely informative. It's the best hour that you can spend listening to something. And now you know this is the coolest thing about Mr. Eric Bauer. He finds the people that can talk the talk and walk the walk, and like he has professionals on there, and he's not degenerates like us. He is dissecting the fucking case with attorneys that are EMS professionals. So
That's some deep shit.
I definitely think there's a worth the while to worth people's time to watch that. You know, Doc, what we have you on, it is one of the things that I want to bring up on this right here, is that
Yeah.
as we approach a scene, okay, we approach a scene, the first words out of your mouth should be what?
Scene safe.
If you say scene safe BSI, I'm going to cut you.
Why?
What are you thinking, sir? What should come out of your mouth?
No, but the first thing that should
Who
come
wants
out
a
is the scene safe and what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So scene safe,
Not
yeah,
about a margarita.
yeah, scene safe BSI, number of patients, do I need any additional resources? I'm saying that for a couple reasons. Number one, yeah, motherfuckers, I'm competing at Fire East with a brand new all-star team, and people don't even know about this shit. But
Yeah, Mr. Burns
yes,
it up.
yes,
Well,
scene
let's
safe
talk about
BSI. Yes, I was just signed on. I'm under
Mhm.
contract right
Yep.
now with a team,
Yep. I can't wait to hear about
and
it. Do I get to be the camera person?
and my teammates, I don't know. You got to talk to Mr. And I'll say his name rhymes with Bill McGrath, who's the sponsor of the team. And
Listen,
and
Mr. McGrath.
and Mr. rhymes with Kelly and
I
Tim
don't-
from Miramar.
He doesn't get to go without me.
And and people don't know that we're about to
I can't wait to see
we're
this.
making a run for it this year.
Yeah.
I walk by this fucking Clinton trophy every
Every
morning,
day.
and I come into this office allegedly.
You know, you talk about the trophy all the time. Why don't you bring it on air?
Papa, go ahead and grab that trophy. Well, we're not supposed
Let's
to be
say-
here. Not allegedly. Allegedly,
We
Papa.
are
this
not.
is
He's
our
getting
guy.
in his car right now,
Disregard.
going in to pick
Yeah.
it up.
He is.
He's racing down right now.
Yeah.
Listen.
So you mentioned though important words,
Yes, sir.
which
Words.
We would like to say
if
hello
you
to
get a
Pablo
chance,
and
if you're not
congratulations
familiar with it, Chris Davis, who's a physician, EMS physician, Dr. Sarah Frances McClure, Seth Hawkins. We wrote an article, actually now a series, and I'm always talking about hashtag safety third.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag.
If you're not familiar with the article or our lectures about it, I highly recommend that you just Google my name, safety third. The article in GEMS was titled "Safety Isn't First, and We All Know It."
Yes, sir.
True story.
Easy read. I actually have it posted in most of my fire stations, and any of us can give a good lecture on it. But safety being first, it's important, but it's not first. And
I just
we
want
can
you
have
to
a
know-
whole thing about that. But it's dynamic, right? You have to always be reassessing is safety safe? Is
I
safety
just-
there?
I just want you to know that we are pausing right now for some time
For what?
so we can get the Clinton trophy.
We're not going to show that because allegedly we're not near it.
We're
So-
not. That's
yeah.
why we're giving it some time. That's why
Yes.
we're pausing.
Yes.
But
So-
then our time will be up and
Yes.
Jody will cut
Yeah.
us off.
Listen, I do hope that we've kind of cleared up the ketamine stuff. And let me give you a few of the different scenarios where they're going to show up on some of the board exams and stuff like that. Hypotensive patients that need to be intubated, your sedative is ketamine. Patients that need to be intubated with breathing complications like bronchial spasms, your sedative is going to be ketamine.
What was that?
Bronchial
DSI.
No. I said, what was the medication?
ketamine.
Oh.
So in the lay sequence, if you're using God, man, I love this doctor. This is why he's our doctor. If you're using the words delay sequence intubation, DSI,
Yep.
the sedative is ketamine.
It's what?
Ketamine.
Oh, okay.
So use your local protocols to dose the patients appropriately.
What's the normal dose?
Depends on what you want to use it for, babe.
So, what do you use it for?
Well, if there's a pain dose,
Which is what?
well, they're going to use their local protocols for that, which is what we're talking about.
So what's
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so the standard is what their local protocols
so what's
are.
the drug book say if I was going to look it up?
What their local protocols are.
Well, I understand what local protocols are, but what does the drug book say?
Well, allegedly,
There are a lot of drug books, and a lot of them refer to your protocols.
That's the problem.
Here's what it comes down to. There are different places that do different things
Of course.
based on the different uses. But essentially, a lot of times, a pain dose or subdissociative dose is a lot of times like depending on the place, 0.2 milligrams per kilogram, IV slow. A lot of places will only use the higher doses, like for full dissociation of 4 to 5 milligrams per kilogram IM. So you don't get the side things. It's just there's such a range, and there's some really good resources out there, but they all they overlap, but they're a little different in terms of people's comfort. So as Los was saying, we got to really refer to your local protocols and stuff.
So I understand that you have to refer to your local protocols, but so I work in the hospital, and if I saw a dose, how would I decide whether or not that's a safe dose?
Well, you need to ask.
Well, for what you do, it's what the doctor says.
What the order doctor said. So in a sense, to explain to Trish,
You're right. We never looked that shit up.
To explain to the person who's going to get 2 minutes here in a second. Like the research that we did today, just in looking up pain and sedation, 16 different milligrams per kilo doses we found in the different resources. This is why we can't go. This is the range. You got to look to see what your doctor is comfortable with you giving. Now, I will say, just a few days ago, December 1st, 2021, the Colorado Department of Public Health published a ketamine study that's 126 pages long. In that study alone, there's 8 different milligram per kilo doses. So
that's because it was a meta-analysis, just so you know. Yes, that was a look at multiple studies.
Yes.
You also have to consider things like with the Snakebite Foundation, we did a research study. We were in West Africa and treating snakebite pain which is very painful. Dr. Brandehoff is a great toxicologist and now running the foundation. Did a thing presented at Venom Week, but we used ketamine for pain control out there in the middle of Africa, and these people were so naive to everything. The tiniest doses were boom, completely snowed. So again, it depends on the population where you're at. Will also probably the dosing that we use is going to be different than some of the rural places. So that's why it really depends on talking with and being familiar with and comfortable with your trainers and your medical direction, your medical oversight.
So the dose for downtown San Francisco is different than your dose for some nowhere place, Idaho.
Could be.
Potentially, yeah. Well, they're in different time zones too. So
he's just raising his hand here. Go ahead.
The time zone makes a difference.
Well, no, not time zone. Would elevation be a factor in dosage?
Man, Patricia always once in a while the Mexican leads him, and he brings up a good question. Could it be?
That's a great question.
It doesn't.
What's the answer?
The answer is
check your local.
Yeah.
Check your local.
The answer, there's a couple of EMS docs that I'm on a text chain with. One of them we're called ourselves the secret EMS docs. But our common thing, we talk about different things all the time. And so often we come back to, well, it depends. The answer is it depends. I was going to have just a T-shirt or our challenge coin for our little mini group just to say it depends.
I love it.
Because it depends.
And you know what's interesting about that is it does depend. And it depends on the fact of this. Did that guy arrive to this high elevation today?
Yeah, because
is he acclimated to the high elevation?
Well, because not the entire state of Colorado is at 5,280 feet.
Well, but what I'm saying is if you're at higher elevation and you just got there, then you're not acclimated. So that means that you're going to have a delay onset because diffusion is slower.
Well, not only that, like, okay, so.
But if you're acclimated,
Well, your whole body responds to physiologically to altitude change is different. So your effective medications might be different, or indications that medications might be different, or the effects might be different. So it's all possibility.
Yep.
So a follow up to that one, because I'm sorry for this crazy question, but if elevation,
Yeah, it's a good question.
If elevation a factor, but also temperature of the environment at that point.
I mean, it could be right. So, like temperature, like the colder things are, diffusion is slower.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The higher you are, if you're just acclimating to that higher
altitude wise.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, if you're vasoconstricted.
Yes.
If you're giving something if I'm not getting much blood supply to the muscles or distally, which muscle am I giving it in? And if you're altitude, if you have to see me at altitude, because I'm already breathtaking, but you see me in Denver.
You sure are.
You'll be
Then I'm really breathtaking.
I do love you in red.
I know, but it's a good color.
But
I do love pink also.
The law there, just so people know, because a lot of times they think we're degenerate. So that would be Henry's law. It's a diffusion problem.
Okay.
So
that word degenerates.
So Henry's law at that altitude, how that gas mixes with a liquid, right? So it's going to be the diffusion is going to be slower. So the onset of action of the medication potentially and allegedly may be slower if you're acclimating.
Yeah, there's a lot of laws that come into effect, especially with altitude and things like that. Yep. Henry's law, Boyle's law. We're all familiar in emergency medicine, Murphy's law, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, man.
And then what about Cole's law?
Have you seen that?
You know Cole's law, right?
What is that, Doc?
Cole's law is like shredded cabbage that usually comes with sandwiches at a deli.
On that right there. Aha. Taste the soup. Taste the soup.
Taste the soup. I don't want to taste the soup.
What's wrong with the soup? All right, let me see the spoon. Aha. Aha. Speaking of the aha moment, hey, birthday buddy, what you got before we leave?
Don't say or do anything that you don't want to see on the news.
Yes. It's true. This is aha. This is true. And I love your hair.
Thanks.
I do too.
I don't care.
I think it's beautiful.
I don't care what the walrus says. He
neither.
He has no vote anyways. He ain't here.
He's not here.
Not here. Where is he? He's working.
Who knows?
Allegedly.
That's what he says.
What you got?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Assess your situation.
That part.
It's really not that difficult.
Is it really?
What?
Is it really?
Is it really difficult?
Yeah.
It's not.
No. Okay.
No.
Remember this. We have this recorded.
We do. We do have it recorded, and I feel like I do assess the situation.
Do you really? Do we have to talk about a blindfolded situation that happened to you?
I mean, we can. No, we're not going to talk about that.
Yes.
Anyways,
on the air.
Moving on.
Patricia.
Once again, I apologize to all of Lake County, every service animal and every service animal owner out there for today's events. Wasn't with malintent. My sincerest apologies.
We love service animals.
Yes, we do. And service animal owners. So
we love dogs. Like we have a mascot that's a dog. And she is amazing. And I brought her. Even before I knew there was a problem.
And I guess I'm throwing it over to the doctor.
Doc, what you got?
Oh, wait, can we have Harley's final thoughts?
Oh, I love it.
Harley.
Yeah, go to Harley first.
Is that you, Doc?
That's me as a kiddo, but let's see what Harley thinks first.
Look.
Epstein did not kill himself.
What does she want to say?
Sounds like a rough life.
What do you want to say?
I think Harley just said that if you're hanging lights, don't fall off your woof.
I love it.
Going back,
Grandpa and Grandpa. They has that Grandma and Grandpa that are hanging lights at 70 and 80 years old.
It's back to the doctor.
Doc, what you got?
Always assess and reassess your situation, and if it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Pablo walked in, so I want to say, Pablo.
Hey guys.
congratulations on being a male nurse now, officially.
Thank you.
You know,
Christy, it's great to see you.
and Christy's here. Hello, Christy. You look great. Welcome here. She's got tall boots on.
She does.
And you know,
She's totally in for terrible ideas.
Yes.
so you know, as we close this thing, the one thing that we do have to say is this. That I have to say is this is be nice to people.
Yeah.
You know, do a lot of times doing the nice thing, the thing that maybe takes a little bit of thought to do is what you're what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Thanks, baby.
Sorry.
Final thoughts. 10 minutes, beginning the show next
No.
time. So, and then, you know, like, try to do the right math in your head. And as you're doing that math, am I doing the right math for the right drug?
Yeah.
Am I doing the right drug, the right patient, the right route, the right time? You know, all those rights and all those things that we're supposed to take time and do. And just do that. And
What are the 6?
It's so true. You can't make an assumption.
Okay.
You make an assumption, then you make an ass out of you an umption.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right.
You can't assume that you're getting it right.
I love it.
It's true. Well, you're not making an ass out of me, so it's an assumption.
Yeah.
But you can't assume that you have to check and recheck exactly as Carlos is saying. It's so true. You have to make sure you're getting it right. Everyone makes mistakes, so the key is and it's okay to make a mistake, but you got to catch it.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. And that's the bottom line of it is that, you know.
So have somebody check it.
I mean, you do the very best. You got to catch them all.
Yeah. And the breach of professionalism.
What are you,
Pokemon? Is a breach of professionalism a criminal act? That's where I want to leave it at. So is a breach of professionalism a criminal act? Hey, as we come on next week, have a safe one. Bye.
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 Bye.